Have you ever felt nervous speaking when other people are there? Well, I have right now. So I'm at my new homestay. I'm going to be here for the next 25 days. And now it's about slowing down on the travel stories. There's less holiday mode and there's more get to work mode. And get to work, I've deliberately picked to start working first on myself and then some ideas to hopefully make the world a better place. The first bit, oh no, I'm getting eaten alive here, which is probably not the best place for me to have picked. Christ. I feel like I'm like in mosquito land, like village. Look, do you see it? Oh no, okay, we have to move. We have to move right now. Whew. That is a hard pass. Extremely hard pass. That is completely though one of the beauties of Ubud. It's obviously much more nature. Oh, this is going to be such a problem for me. I just know it is. Right, where should I stand? Could I just sit here? Maybe? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's try it, something new. And I'm all about new. So yeah, I've written down notes this time because it's like some of the better work that I want to do is like just getting a little bit more organised in thoughts and trying to create value for other people. That if you are anything like me, if anything I say to you resonates, then some of the tips and tricks or failures or successes that I am making along this journey, then they might be able to help you too. I'm very distracted because of the mosquito bites. Like, I'm not joking. I've never seen, sometimes you can't catch them, like when they're on you. But I just caught 3 and then I saw way more. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, back in the game. Oh, it's a pretty butterfly. Distracted again. So, the first thing I wanted to work out about was like, I'm normally a very, very confident person. Like I can throw myself at pretty much anything and just assume it's going to work out okay because everything always does. Like I believe for not just for me, but for everyone. The days go on, the sun sets, the sun rises, until your day is done. So all of it should be experienced as a bit of like an exciting journey rather than something to be fearful of. However, I still at the same time just felt like a real instability. Like I was like, 6 weeks we're tracking now. Like, am I in the right place, doing the right things at the right time? Then I asked myself some questions along with ChatGPT, and I did get some answers. I really hope you can see this in the video because there's 2 really they're so pretty, the butterflies here. They're white and they have like what looks like a little black love heart on the top left of their wings. But yeah, the first, I think the reason I'm feeling a little bit wobbly at the moment is that I have or am dealing with now, with a little bit more insight, a loss of identity. And that comes down to a couple of different things. One, there isn't structures to my days. I have been moving around and traveling with just a bunch of my stuff to different places, which is fun, right? But even though that was probably a version of me from before, it certainly isn't what I want to be now. So that's like very, very uncomfortable to sit through. And also I've worked since the age of 12. I actually think it was 11. I'm pretty sure I lied about my age so that I could start working. And by the age of 16, I had 3 jobs, nearly 4, and was still at school. So I've always been a grafter. So to not have anything other than my own life admin and bits and pieces to work on is like a full identity crisis internally that I'm now understanding. So being made redundant means that I do have to let go of some of the fact that I work for someone else. Like I have to let go of that. Also, I'm having to let go of, or have let go of, a lot, and I mean a lot, of my own personal possessions in order to pull this trip off. A lot of it's in storage. Hey! And third of all, on the identity is like, I'm a London girl, or I've always seen myself as one. Even when I lived in Scotland, all I wanted to do is live in London because I love the place. Like, it's somewhere that does feel like the closest to home I've ever got. So to leave it and then just move around, sometimes what feels like aimlessly, that is a problem that I'm going through. 2, there's a gap between who I want to be and what I'm currently doing. So my goals versus my day-to-day. Now, yeah, we've got ourselves in a bit of a hallway here. Yay! Now, that isn't a bad thing, because change is good, and being uncomfortable forces like the innovation out of you. So I'm not so scared about this one, but it did make me feel just a little bit lighter to understand it. So if you're going through a change, or you realize that you want to be somewhere else but you're acting a certain way in those days, I think it's okay. It's just like small incremental changes. So one of the things that I'm putting in place is like, immediately when I get up in the morning, I've always, I start journaling, but sometimes I can fall off that path and be like, oh, you can wait till later, and later doesn't come. So I've kept that as like a ground rule. Please don't tell me I'm being eaten. And then the next thing I'm doing is like move my body. So rather than use the grabs, now I'm back in Ubud, I can start walking around again and feel a bit safer. That is the beauty and the chaos of this place. It's amazing. By the way, it's not like a main road or street. It's literally at the homestay, the hotel I'm at. Anyway, and then the third thing I'm doing is each morning when I do journals, so I do my morning pages, I'll write down goals. And then where I've switched it up is, instead of just writing down the big goal, which is beautiful, all of them are beautiful, I have 10. I then have now started writing down the tasks too. So it's like the task for that specific day, and I feel much more inspired. Then I got extra inspired when I heard this other lady's video where she says that she started collaborating with the stuff. They're definitely still biting me. She started collaborating with herself. So in the mirror, she's been asking, what are we going to create today? I've done it for the past 2, is it 3 days? 2 or 3, can't remember. Anyway, a couple. And it does help, because it just puts my mind, I think, subconsciously into a way that it's trying to design versus just be in the present moment. I think I'm pretty there with the present moment now. So well done, Zoe, for that. And then 3, the third thread, I guess, to my themes. Like, if I chucked everything on a page, all these pages, if I told people how I was feeling every single day for the past 6 weeks, I can put it down to these 3 threads. And the third one is physical vulnerability. And I say that because in these 6 weeks, I have been in a near fatal moped accident. Like, I'm downplaying it a lot because I don't want to scare people, but it was scary. I thought I nearly had to come back. Bleeds in brains, the lot, right? My head was glued back together. Here we go again. Or not. Alright. He's going down. Or not. We're going back the other way anyway. But not just that, I actually had, so because of the incident, I had nerve damage in my back. Obviously, I'm worried and I'm paranoid about my head. As you get older, everything gets a little bit more scary. I think if I was younger, I would just sort of like accept it was concussion and they were symptoms, but I couldn't help but think the worst. And then, of course, being the solution person that I am to any problem that I'm faced with, I start trying to find a solution, and I'm not a qualified doctor. So you can imagine the kind of things that I was bumping up against online. Yeah, so the nerve pain, and then on top of that, I had like a really bad viral infection where I had to call doctors out. All of that, I believe, would probably knock someone over and be like, this is a lot. So it makes more sense to me now. Of course, you're going to feel unstable, and it's perfectly fine not to just be happy, go lucky every single day. It's totally fine. There are peaks and troughs in life, and there are happy moments, and then there are difficult moments. Sorry for looking over my shoulder again. And yeah, it just felt good for me to look at myself with finally some compassion rather than just confusion or trying to pretend everything was okay. Like, I know it's going to be okay in the end, like I said, but it significantly painted patterns in my mind that are very helpful for someone like me to understand, okay, now I can compartmentalize these 3 categories and do something to aid all of those mental illnesses, I'll call them, each single day. Each single day? Every single day. That's the better English, I think. Yeah. And then there's another question that I asked myself, but I only asked myself, kudos to ChatGPT, because if I had to move back to London tomorrow, how would I feel? What would be the emotion that I would feel? And the first thing that came to mind, screaming to the front of my brain, was disappointed. And then it's because, I might get emotional here again, I just need to stop crying online. My old default life doesn't feel safe nor exciting. It feels like a step backwards, or would feel like one for me, a big one. And honestly, like, I was there sort of just existing, but I wasn't really living, and I definitely feel more alive now. I feel more at risk, but I definitely feel more alive. So I did need to make all of this sort of make sense to me, because I'm still misaligned from the future version that I'm craving. But the biggest, I guess, insight that I got from doing a little bit of work on myself and journaling, because I cannot preach about journaling enough. Like, it's just to get your own thoughts out on paper. I know it's awkward when you start, but like, it's so important. Was I got my own eureka moment. Like, Zoe, you're saying you want to be this future person, but define her. Define exactly who she is, what she does every single day, because normally I would have done that. And I haven't this time, because of all, I guess, the disruption and the instability and the chaos that's been happening since, March this year, or the end of March this year. Yeah. So I think this is a good one to share, and I really, really do hope it inspires at least like just one other person. That's always my goal with these videos, just one person. There we go. And the other, I guess, unfair advantage I have, and I said it before, and obviously I'm about to say it again, but I'm in a country where it's, look, it got me with blood. It's so, where was I? Where's my train of thought gone? Yeah. So I'm in a country where their first rule is be kind to each other. So it's nice just to be in a place where it feels like they're my homies, that's my family. Like, anything I do, it's very difficult for you to find a moment where I won't be when I'll be unkind to somebody. Like, it's not the way I was brought up. My father raised me that way, my mum raised me that way. Even to my detriment, I've been called generous or kind to a fault before, which I think is the biggest compliment in the entire world. And yeah, then for now, that's over and out.